Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you for coming to my channel. I guess I'm going to entitle this Had to Be Said, because I told you guys about my neighbor live across the street and the little rascals. They come over there starting at 8 in the morning and rat out till late in the evening. And today, a Sunday, 7 o'clock, cars out there. You got out of your bed this early in the morning to go stand in another man's driveway for hours at a time. Something ain't right about that. So I went out there in my yard to feed the cats. And they were out there. It's like 4 cars across the street, 2 parked on this side and on my side. So I said, okay, I've had enough of this. So after I fed the cat, I stood up, and I was out in my drawers because I wasn't expecting to just jump out there for less than 30 seconds, dump out the cat food on the plate, and go back in the house. So I stood up there at my gate, in my drawers, and one of the cars was parked adjacent to my gate that opens up straight there. So they seen me sitting there, hands folded against the fence, and then he drove off. So then I went in the house, put my pants on, came back out, and I walked farther down in my yard, where now I'm adjacent to him in the driveway with these guys sitting around. So I'm just sitting there. They started noticing I was there. Then he came out from the garage, and I right out the gate. I stated my business. I said, "Man, how long is this going to continue? These guys over here every day," and they hear me. I didn't care. These guys over here every day, all day long, every single day. This has to stop. And he came over, and he was very respectful. He was just basically soaking in what I was saying, because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you or anything. I'm just trying to tell you, man, because you're my neighbor and I consider you a friend. This is not a good look for you. That you got these guys all day long. And I'm like, I'm not exaggerating. This starts early in the morning, and this can run all the way up until the evening when it's getting dark. That these guys are standing around here doing nothing. So now, one of the guys that across the street wants to start coming over and chime in. And I quickly told him, I said, "Sir, you stay over there, because this is a conversation between me and my neighbor." And he came over anyway. "We're not throwing anything on your yard," or, I'm like, that's not the point. I said, "You're breaking a lot of codes. First of all, the loitering law. You can't stand a group of guys stand out in front of a place every day, all day long. It's against the law." No. I said, "Should I reach in my pocket and call my lawyer and you have a talk with her? Because she'll tell you this. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying. And you don't know what you're talking about. If you want me to call her, I can call her right now." So then he started talking crazy, talking to him, or, these cases you can beat. So why do you need to break the law to try to beat the case? How about just not break the law, So we ushered him back across the street, because my neighbor was trying to be compliant. He's like, "Going back over there, man." So we talking. And I just told him, I said, "Man, I'm telling you this as a neighbor and a friend, because it's obvious something is terribly wrong here with this picture. We all have to obey by the law. Nobody is exempt. I'm like, if I had my way, there'd be a band in my yard every day playing loud and probably the kind of music you don't like. But I know that I can't do that. I have to be considerate to you and everybody else. It's not about what I want to do, if only unless it's within the law, But I gave you that example to let you know that what you're doing is disrupting to the neighborhood, And I'm looking over there now, because I seen the guy when he showed up, because his garage door is not working. It's gone. It's broke. So now you got chairs kind of in the garage near the cars. And I seen the guy when he came over there over about 30 minutes ago, sitting in the yard. I said, that man right there, because he brings his daughter over there. She can't be no more about 4 years old. I said, that man got no business over there with his daughter, with a bunch of other dudes doing nothing. That man should be either at the park with his little girl, spending time with her, or she's at home with her mama, and he's here hanging out with you guys. Instead, he wants to mosh his world together because I told him, I said, in life, it's about a series of balances. You balance your home life, you balance your job, and you balance your friends and neighbors, or friends, family, relatives and friends. You can't mush them all together like that guy doing. I'm like, there'd be no way in hell that when my daughter is that young, and I didn't hang out with bums, of course, anyway, even hanging out with my working class friends, I'm like, no, I'm not going to have her here, because I'm not giving her the attention that she deserves, or I'm not giving you guys the attention you deserve, however you want to look at it. That has to be separate, And I just tried to instill in him, man, do the right thing. Because I said, here's a suggestion. I envy you. You got a big, tall fence. Because I was thinking about putting one up. I'm like, I'm not about to spend $2,000-$3,000 on the fence because I'm getting out of here anyway. I'm like, you got a big, tall fence. Put all those guys in your yard, your backyard. I'm like, should I get you a park bench and chairs and I get you a canopy? If you don't have the money, I'll buy this for you. I go up to the Menards today and get it. But I'm like, they shouldn't be out in your garage roaming around because sometimes they roam and stray into the man across the alley yard. I seen them standing near his house. I'm like, they shouldn't even be here. They're not even over in your yard now. They're over there instead of just going home. So I'm like, I hope our little talk would change some things because this is not going to continue, man. Because I told him, I said, you have no idea who's watching you, man. And when it goes down, if it continues, you get caught holding the bag. Those guys just leave. Now you're going to be the one to get caught up in this and be fined because of these guys. If they cared about you, they wouldn't be over here all day. If you cared about them, you send them on their way so they can go out and get jobs, girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever the case may be. But I had enough today. I'm like, we're going to have a talk today because I'm tired of this. I wasn't in love with the fact that I kind of elected myself to have this talk, but nobody else is going to say nothing to him. And when you don't say nothing, people think it's okay. That's why sometimes when I get certain comments, most of the time I just block them and delete them, but sometimes I have to comment back or do a whole video on it because when people leave garbage on your channel and you don't remove it and other people see that garbage, they think it's okay to leave this garbage here. On my channel, I'm not playing that. Got to take that to another yard. We don't do that here. Your comment would be removed and you get blocked, And sometimes, because he said, well, I apologize. I wasn't aware. And I believe that. I honestly believe he's that stupid that he wasn't aware. And I'm like, well, that's why I gave you the benefit of doubt. And I came out here today to talk to you, because this is not a good look for you, man. Nobody's saying you can't have friends over because my neighbor next door, he had a big party for somebody and the music was loud and it went on into the night. I didn't have a problem with that because I'm like, it's not every day that he does that. And everybody's entitled to a day or two here and there to have a celebration. But that celebration shouldn't last all week, every week, because then we got a problem, And he understands that. I understand that. But apparently the guy across the street don't understand that you can't do this every day. Because like I told you, this gets started at 8 in the morning. This morning started before 7. I looked out there and seen the car. And the day before yesterday, it started by 8:30 and continuing throughout the entire day. I'm like, it's just amazing to be able to get that many people in one place at one given time and they don't do shit all day. They stand around all day. What are the chances of finding that many people that can do that? But I guess there are a lot of people that can do that, and that's kind of scary to me because I'm like, when I was those guys' age, because they're like half his age, I had 2 jobs and a girlfriend. It's like my day is full. After working 2 jobs and trying to squeeze some time in with my girl, I don't have 7-8 hours to go somewhere and stand in somebody's driveway. But apparently these guys do. And I'm like, man. And I know things change, and not necessarily always good changes. Nothing stays still and etched in stone forever. There's some things that you wish would, and there's some things you're glad that don't. But it's like, what are the chances of at least 5 to 6, sometimes 8 guys standing around the entire day in someone's driveway doing nothing? Because before I went to bed yesterday, because I went pretty early because I was up all night, I think I went to bed about 7. The last daytime I looked out the window yesterday, it was about 5:30. There was 5 cars out there then. There was like 3 over there, 2 over there, 1 blocking my driveway, and one of them had the window down, the pit bull sticking his head out. I'm like, man. And then today the same thing, about 5, 6 guys standing. I'm like, come on, man. We gonna have a talk now, cause this shit ain't gonna continue. It's not gonna continue. And I told him, I said, man, this can't continue, cause if it does, the outcome is not gonna be in your favor. So I hope that I make this appeal to you to just hear me out, listen to me, and take it to heart. If you don't want to break up the little rascals throughout the day, you just got to have your time with these guys, which is questionable within itself. Put them in the yard. Send all of them in that yard. That big, tall fence, nobody can see them. When people drive past, going through in the street, they don't see a bunch of guys standing out, looking all in their cars. That scares people, especially single women, So I hope the talk that I had with him today will make some kind of impact and change. Where, tomorrow I see them in the yard and not standing all around, in his driveway and venturing off into his neighbor across the way, sidewalk over near his house. He look out every day, because I really feel bad for him. He look out every day and he see all these guys across the alley, in the alley. Some of them, they park in the alley. When there's all this drive parkway alongside, because we live on the corner, they all just got to be close to him, all parked up close to him. And, almost half the car is sticking out in the alley, and it's a problem for people that's trying to get through the alley, coming out of their driveway or their garage and want to, come out to the main street. They got to veer over quickly because there's a car that's in the alley, and that car sit there. Sometimes be 2 of them sit there for hours. It's like we got to be considerate to everybody. It's not just about you. Now, if you live on a big old farm with a lot of acres between you and your next neighbors, you do what you want. Ain't nobody around to have to witness this. It ain't nobody around there when they come to just spend some time in their yard every now and then, that they don't have to sit there and look at a group of dudes cross the street looking at them, looking at you, looking at them. It's ridiculous. So I thought I would just share that with you, because it had to happen. That talk had to come. It did, because it's like, it's not a good look, man. Like I told you, I'm not exaggerating, every single day. It's out real early, and it'll wrap up near the end of the day. It ain't like 2 hours here and there. They come hang around. Hey, let me get out of here. Just want to come back and holler at you. They camp out. They camp out for 8 hours or longer. And I'm like, either they got some incredible bladders or they're pissing in that alley. And I believe they're pissing in that alley, because he's not letting them up in his house. At least he's smart enough not to do that. And they claim most of them are cousins. It doesn't make a difference, sir, if you're his cousin. It doesn't make a difference if you're his son or daughter, son, brother or son. You're breaking the law. You can't hang around in extra large groups on the side or in the front of anybody's property. You're breaking the law. And you can resolve that by just simply going in that garage. Going in that yard. You got it within your rights to do that. But you can't stand around large groups of guys and think they can hang around all day, and that's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be illegal. Till next time, take care and thanks for watching.